Thank you, Lord. I'm back. Trump won Georgia, man. He outright won Georgia with no problem, man. You know what? I think that's how you know it was some funny stuff going on with the last election. As a matter of fact, they flat out stole Georgia. I'll go ahead and say that. Because it just didn't make sense to me how a Democrat won Georgia. I know Atlanta, but outside Atlanta, Georgia's red. So it never made sense to me that Biden won Georgia in the last election. And just to see the way that Trump just commandingly just swept through Georgia and won Georgia, that's how I know, man. I think they did some funny business with the ballots last election. But one thing I think that I don't hear none of the mainstream media saying is, one thing I don't hear them saying is this election really proved how fake people are. People are fake, bro. People would get in your face and say one thing. You ought to know this from working a 9-to-5 job. I experience this on a 9-to-5 job on a daily basis. People would get in your face and smile in your face and say one thing and go behind your back and do another. And that's exactly what America did. All those people claim that they were Kamala supporters. All them people claim that, and they went right in that booth and they voted for Trump. People fake as hell, man. But most importantly, the Democrats are trying to save face right now on the mainstream media, and they saying this reason, that reason. They blaming the men's. They blaming white men's, the black men's, and all this and that. They blaming all the men's, for this and that. And the funny thing is, the real reason that Kamala lost is not because of the men's. The real reason Kamala lost is because the Democrats didn't want to step up to the plate and give black people reparations. This is real simple. Kamala could have won. All the Democrats had to do was give black people reparations, and they would have had black folks voting Democrat for another 60 years. I know I would have went up there and vote. But no, they don't want to do that. She don't want to just give something to only black people. No. And, it would have played out real good. She could have gave black people the reparations. Then it don't matter. She could have thanked the union members. She could have she could have did a cooking show with Snoop Dogg. Put some collard greens in a bathtub and did a whole cooking show about collard greens in a bathtub with Snoop Dogg. Or something like that. Some type of cooking show. We wouldn't have cared. And one important thing I see the media saying is, will the country recover? Will the country recover? Well, will people start getting along and all that kind of stuff? Will the country come together? Hell no, the country ain't coming together. Hell no. Hell no. It ain't happening. People don't understand the art of compromise. People in this day and age, people are not willing to compromise. In order for that's why marriages don't last, because marriage is all about compromises. Let alone marriage relationships too. It's all about compromise, and nobody's willing to do that. Everybody don't want to give any. They want to hold on to what they believe in and they standards, and they don't want to let go. And so no, people will always be divided in this country. That's just the age that we live in now. People just are not willing to compromise. So no, people gonna continue not to get along. You know, it's a lot of crazy stuff. I think people are harming themselves and doing all types of crazy stuff because of this election. They doing all types of crazy stuff. And that's very unfortunate because I remember in 2016 I was working for United Healthcare. And that morning after when Trump won in 2016, people were real depressed and sad at my job. They wanted Hillary. I think it's because I worked with a bunch of women. Maybe that's what it was. But they were real sad. But you know what? I remember people being real sad back in 2016. And guess what? Guess what? We recovered. We were fine. Those 4 years went by and everybody was fine. So just like this time, Trump won, but guess what? These 4 years will fly by and we'll be just fine. People are just so caught up in the moment right now. Don't get caught up in that. Don't harm yourself and all that crazy stuff that you got people doing. Don't do that. And you know, people, it's just crazy how I guess people in this country, they really sent a message with this election, man. Trump, well, last time I checked, man, Trump he beat her with over 5 million votes. That's crazy. People really came out and voted for Trump, man. That's crazy, man. And what's even more that surprised me was the Latino vote. I think the Latino vote went up 32% for Trump. And that's very interesting. That's very interesting. Like, I wasn't expecting that. So even the Latinos voted for Trump. That's crazy. You know, but a lot of my black Negroes out there, I know you guys are sad. Some of you guys are still sad. And to help out some of my black Negro brethren out there, I'm going to go ahead and sing an old Negro spiritual to try to lift your spirits. To try to keep hope alive, you know. And if you know these words, I want y'all to join in with me, okay? We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome, and thank a union member.